Hello guys, this is a quick real life example demonstration hiring freelancers on Upwork for a nonfiction book writing job, okay? For my publishing brand, HowExpert. So if you're interested in HowExpert, go check out our books by clicking here and check out our books on Amazon. Um, we have over 300, we have hundreds of books on all topics from A to Z. And also, if you want to write for us, scroll down and go to the section that says jobs or uh, write for us. Okay, click on that link, put your name, email address, and next page. If you're already subscribed, you can click here and check out the opportunity to write for our publishing brand, HowExpert. You write the book about your number one expertise. As long as you have a genuine and authentic real life passion, okay, knowledge and real life experience in that for ideally several years, okay, 3 to 5 plus years, ideally. More the better. Then you are genuinely good at what you do. Then you're an everyday person. You happen to have a hobby, unique hobby, or are interested in any topic, and you're obsessed with it. That's great. And or in your industry for your career, you're good at what you do. You're a specialist. Then write a how-to guide for the teach how to do what you're good at, okay, to the world through a book. And we'll take care of the rest. We'll take care of the rest. We'll publish it for our publishing brand. Some of our books have actually been on Amazon bestseller lists. We publish hundreds of books. This is just a quick example. We have testimonials from real life everyday people finally became published authors, achieve one of their lifetime goals, bucket list to become a published author. And that's great. And once a published author, we publish it all the platforms. So the book will be there forever, pretty much through the internet, right? And yeah, that's cool. And if you're interested, click here and apply. If you're a more do-it-yourself person and you want to learn how to do self-publishing on your own, go to publishersystem.com, sign up for a free email newsletter, and go to the next page to learn how. Check out my um, self-publishing membership site /training, okay, /course, where you can learn step by step how to have success either as an author. I have real life experience being an author or publisher. Okay, specifically, I specialize in nonfiction, but you don't have to be a publisher. If you're an author, you can learn a lot from my tips here because, in terms of not in terms of writing, but in terms of publishing, getting the book out there, marketing it, advertising it, and business wise, and to scaling it and so forth. Okay, hiring writers and getting results with Amazon can publishing. So if you're interested, go there and go check it out. Okay, if you're interested in done for you service, go check out my done for you service. Basically for a custom done for you service. It's kind of like writing for our expert, but it's your own custom project. If you have a poetry book, if you have your autobiography, you want to publish it separately from my brand, but you want to do it just for your own brand. You want to do this. There's a done for you service opportunity there. Okay. So, having said that, let me check out the writers that we are going to hire today. Taking a look at the cover letter answers for how to book for all topics from A to Z. Here is Prince H for the topic of poetry. Okay. Um, the thing that kind of um, that sold me was reading his cover letter answers at the end. It says something like, my name, dear How Expert, my name is Prince Harrison Jr. I'm thrilled to be applying for a chance to write a how-to guide for Amazon. I'm a polished poet, and I recently published my first poetry book, A Social, last December. I looked it up. It's on Amazon. Okay, got 5-star reviews from real readers and whatnot, and go check it out. Anyways, continue on. Last December on Amazon. A Social is a massive poetry collection containing over 20 poetry forms. So that's kind of what sold me because I wanted to, it's the type of how-to guides I do. I want to cover all aspects of that one topic. So he has written 20 poetry forms in this book. So he has experience doing different type of forms, about 200 poems and a quantity of poems for all topics from A to Z as well. For main chapters are friendship, love, heartbreak, mental health, and spirituality. So far, A Social has all 5-star reviews, including one from fellow author Ashanti Taylor, who dubbed it the Einstein of poetry books this year. I've been writing poetry since 2011, and I've always wanted to make a guide for newbies who are interested in artistic expression. Although I am a maven at using modern poetry forms, such as free verse and golden shovel. I would like to make a guide for those who are interested in writing a Shakespearean sonnet. Most people hear the word Shakespeare and immediately get afraid, but sonnets are actually fairly easy to write for beginners in poetry. So at first I was looked into Shakespearean sonnet, but when I did my research, at least keyword wise, I noticed that it's a lot. When you search for it, normally it just shows Shakespeare's actual sonnets that he did instead of his style. Okay, they don't really talk about the style. They talk about his actual poem. So I didn't want to get confused for a topic, so I might have to skip that. And then I looked into sonnet alone, but then usually I would consider a sonnet a possible book, but this writer didn't really go into in depth about just a sonnet type of writing, right? So just looking from the cover letter alone, I could technically go back and forth with a freelancer. That's what I used to do, but for time purposes, because I have to publish a lot of more books in my business model to really make money. To be honest, so I don't have time to interview back and forth all day. I look at the cover letter answers, and first day, one day, I either hire or I don't. That's the truth. Okay, that's if I have to interview. There's too many messages already that we're already receiving with our team on a daily basis. Sometimes our writers and other members as well. So I want to keep it minimum for my own self and for my team as well. We already have enough. So like we just judge based on the cover letter answers alone. And looking at it right now, what I've seen is that Prince here has real life experience. Has 20 poetry forms. He's done not only one type of form, but all 20 forms. Okay, he's done 200 poems. That's a lot for an everyday person. Okay, to publish it. I don't care if it's your first book. That's a lot. To have even 100 poems, that's a lot. But he did double the amount of what most people will call a lot. 100 is a lot. He did 200 in this book, and he didn't just write about it. He actually published it on his own. Self-publishes on his own. So he has experience not only writing poetry, not only writing all kinds of poetry forms, 20 forms, writing quantity poetry, self-publishing on his own. So he's a great teacher for everyday people who are curious about poetry as a whole, in any type of form, structure, and style, because he has experience 20, and he could teach other people how to do it, and he could teach other people how to self-publish it because he's done it as well, as maybe as a bonus chapter or last chapter if he wants to. But this book is more about poetry as a whole, and I want to cover all types of poetry. That's what I did mention to Prince here, okay, the freelancer, everyday real life expert who apply for this job. Okay, so having said that, um, I did send an offer actually already. Okay, so I'm just showing you the notes here. The title is going to be called "How Expert Guide to Writing Poetry: 101 Tips to Learn How to Write All Kinds of Poem Styles." Okay, because he has experience writing all kinds of 20 up to 20, and become a better everyday poet. So I'm covering all the basic keywords like poetry, poem, poet. Those are the three variations. You want to have a variation from your main keyword. My main keyword could be is poetry, okay, which is in the title, but in the subtitle I could put all the variations, right? And make sense, but don't be robotic too. It has to make sense. And think of the subtitle for the way I do is like a simple one sentence, okay, that best describes the essence, okay, of the book's content, okay, and message and story or whatnot, okay. So that's pretty much it. Save notes, and I already sent the offer, to be honest. What I'm gonna do, what I do after I send the offer, or I send an offer a different job post, by the way. What I do after the offer, I'll show you what I do after the offer. The last step is to rinse and repeat. That's it. Rinse and repeat as a publisher. You don't just stop at one book. You publish more books, just like here, the freelancer, here, Prince, rinse and repeat it with writing just 200 poems, right? Not just stopping at one. He rinse and repeat it all the way to the point he had hundreds of poems. You have to do the same thing as a publisher. And I'm showing just publishing business. This is what's required. So what we do to rinse and repeat, we remove the job post first, all positions filled. it's true because he applied and I hired him through a different job post. Reuse his job post and rinse and repeat. I would say, generally speaking, how many books does it take to make decent income? I mean, depending on where you live, but just let's say for the U.S., for example, I think you need about 100 books, nonfiction, unless you're the writer yourself. Okay, if you're a publisher, I'm talking about publisher, maybe 50 to 100. I think maybe even 10 if you're extremely high quality. But for the everyday person who's not the best, like just getting started, it might require like 50. Okay, or 200. I have hundreds, but in the beginning, in my journey, like I just published, like sometimes they were not the best quality, you know, but you do the best you can with what you have in the beginning, and you learn the lesson, and you move forward, and you do better in your current, present, and future books, and that's what I'm doing in my journey as a publisher. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.